Holy smokers, guys, lock your phone in a safe and throw that key away because we got some crazy news to talk about regarding bypassing the fingerprint scanner on most phones within 20 minutes. You heard me, 20 minutes. This affects Android phones, it affects iPhones, all the way up to the iPhone 8, including the iPhone 8. If you guys use a fingerprint reader to get into your phone, you are at risk and you want to pay attention to this video because this can happen to you. I'll be talking about this story and then I'll be talking about, most importantly, what you guys can do to protect yourselves and what are the chances of this actually happening to you guys. Before I continue on with this video, do me a huge favor and click the subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell to help my content get promoted up in the YouTube algorithm to help more people like you learn from this content and be able to prevent all these terrible cybersecurity things that are going on from happening to them. Alright, so Chinese hackers that are a part of the X Lab security research team at Tencent, or Tencent, I don't know how you say that. If you guys know how to say that or if I bombed it, post a comment down in the description and tell me, hey Levi, you bombed this. Anyway, they demonstrated at the GeekPon 2019 conference in Shanghai, China, that they could beat the fingerprint scanner on most Android and iPhone devices within 20 minutes. And the crazy thing is, all it takes for them is a device that costs roughly around $140 and some special software that they created to be able to capture fingerprints that are left out in the open and be able to scan it and then use that device to be able to replicate those fingerprints. At the security conference, they had members in the audience touch their finger on a glass. They use their software to pull that fingerprint off the glass and use whatever method that they use with that device to be able to replicate that fingerprint and get into all of those users' phones within 20 minutes. There's 3 different types of fingerprint scanners on phones: capacitive, optical, and ultrasonic. And the attackers were able to get in through all 3 different types of fingerprint scanners on the phone, so it doesn't matter what type of fingerprint scanner you have. The hackers wouldn't reveal how they were recreating those fingerprints that they captured with their software for security reasons. Obviously, they don't want this information getting around because 1, they could probably resell this software to other people, and 2, they don't want people to use this on them. Because the hackers wouldn't reveal how the fingerprints were cloned, it's not very obvious how likely this is to be replicated on a wide scale. But we have seen several cases in the past where fingerprint readers have been getting bypassed. Some examples are using tinfoil and hot glue guns to be able to bypass the fingerprint scanner, AI print cloning, using 3D printing. And most recently, if any of you guys have seen the security news lately, the new Samsung Galaxy Note 10 had a $3 screen protector that was able to bypass the fingerprint. If you have a Samsung Galaxy Note 10, as of this video, I saw that all the major carriers are starting to release updates to fix that issue. So make sure if you get an update on your Samsung Galaxy Note 10, you run that right away to help get that issue fixed. So obviously, this is not a good situation where some hacking group has been able to figure out how to break into people's fingerprint scanner within 20 minutes. Because I don't know how other people use their phones, but I know on my phone, I use the fingerprint scanner all the time because it's so convenient. So you guys are probably asking the question now,
well, Levi, what can I do to help protect myself from this situation? I love my fingerprint scanner. I wouldn't want to change from my fingerprint scanner and use something else. What are my options, Levi?
Alright, so you have basically 2 solid options that would help prevent you having problems with this situation. The first option that you have is you can either go around and wear rubber gloves and make sure that you're not leaving fingerprints in different areas, and then when you want to scan into your phone, you take the glove off, you scan into your phone, and then boom, you put the glove back on. Obviously, that's not very convenient, so that's probably not something that you would want to do. But hey, if you want to try it, go ahead and see how it works out for you. Post in the comment down below to tell me how it works out, because I'd really like to know. I think it would be a pain in the butt, but hey, maybe you don't mind doing that. All right, so that's part of that first option. The second part of that first option is to go and wipe up your fingerprints everywhere that you're going. If you do that and you don't have any fingerprints, then there's no fingerprints to capture to be able to scan and use on your phone, right? Also, another very crappy option, right? All right, so the number 2 option is probably a more valid option, but it's not a great option, just like the first option. You could turn off being able to use fingerprints to authenticate to get into your phone, and then it wouldn't matter if somebody swiped your fingerprint because your fingerprint scanner wouldn't work. And so then at that point you would have to do something that's not as reliable, in my opinion. So you could use a password, you could use a PIN, you could use a retina scan. I don't know what it's like on newer phones. I know on my phone the retina scan's a pain in the butt, because if the lighting level isn't just right, you can't get into your phone. So then you have to do the password method or do the pattern or something like that. And those can be a big pain in the butt. If you use a fingerprint, it's like, boom, you're just in there right away and you're good to go. That's what's so nice about fingerprint scanners, right? So obviously that's not a great situation, because if you're using the fingerprint scanner, you like the quickness of using that to get into the phone. And then, oh yeah, there's a third option that I forgot to tell you guys about. It's to smash that fingerprint scanner. If you don't have a fingerprint scanner, people can't break into your phone with the fingerprint scanner, right? Oh, I mean, sorry guys, I meant smash that like button. But in all seriousness, you wouldn't want to break your fingerprint scanner on your phone, because one, people are so attached to their phones. What would you do if you didn't have a phone? And that brings up the question for you guys, that I want you guys to leave a comment down below. How many days do you guys think that you could go without your phone? I personally think I could probably make it a couple of days before I would have to get a replacement phone if I broke mine and it didn't work. So let me know down below how many days you guys think you can go without it. And then also, it's very expensive to break your phone, so that's another reason why you probably wouldn't want to do that. So you guys are like,
well, Levi, those 2 options that you gave me are crap. What else can I do? What can I do in this situation? I don't want to get hit with somebody being able to unlock my phone with a fingerprint.
And my best advice to you guys is, I think the risk level for this is fairly low. So far, it's really only been seen with this research group. There isn't a widespread, easy method for people to break into your fingerprint scanner at this moment. So for me, I think that the convenience of being able to get into my phone is worth the risk of having somebody potentially use that fingerprint scanning technology to get into my phone, just because the risk isn't very high. And the average person that would take your phone isn't going to have this technology to get into your phone. And if somebody has that technology at this point in time, they're probably going after you, and they're going to find another way to get into your phone anyway. That's at this point in time. At this point in time, I recommend just leaving your fingerprint scanner on, and you should be okay. If at a later date you see more news where this has become a widespread issue, you might want to think about turning it off at that point, or cleaning up all your fingerprints, or smashing your fingerprint scanner on your phone. But turning it off is probably the best option at that point. But for now, I think you guys are good to leave it on. You just gotta be aware in the security news and watch this channel, so you can find out if this ever becomes a widespread issue. And then obviously there's going to be the cases out there like the Samsung Galaxy Note 1, where things come up and there has to be a firmware update released by the provider to fix those issues. But I think the convenience of the fingerprint scanner is good enough that it's worth those risks. The one last point I want to make is if you work in a high sensitivity job where there's information on your phone that's very high security that absolutely cannot get out there, obviously you probably don't want to take that risk for a fingerprint scanner. But if you're an average Joe Blow like me, the risk of somebody breaking into your phone isn't very much, and the reward of the convenience is worth it over the risk. So I wouldn't worry too much about this, you guys, but if you are in the high security class, you definitely might want to think about turning it off and using a different method. I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and I hope you guys learned a lot. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.